Hey guys, Hybrid Tour Reviews here, and today I want to talk about the Star Wars The Black Series Commander Appo from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. It is so awesome that this show is getting the representation from Hasbro that it deserves. There's so many cool characters and cool designs in the show, and honestly, this is a great excuse to give us a new body 501st Clone Trooper. Now, when I say new body, I mean new body. They've revamped the 2020 body and added some stuff to it. So it's a whole new clone body, and this is my first time getting one in hand. So let's go ahead and take a look at it and see if this is a good addition to the collection. Personally, I think it might be the best clone yet. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at the packaging. This is your standard Black Series packaging, with your Black Series logo up above the window, showing Appo and his accessories off very nicely. It has your Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi in blue across the front, Commander Appo warning 4+ Hasbro. This side of the box features artwork of Appo. This side of the box features a wraparound window, wraparound blue stripe, and Black Series logo at the bottom. Around back, you have Black Series logo, a zoom in on the art from the side, got Appo's name, and then for once on the Kenobi figures, there's actually a bio about the character instead of a bio about the show, so that's pretty cool. He's number 14 in the Kenobi line. Underneath that, you have some legalese, Disney, Hasbro logos, more legal and barcode underneath. You have a hanger tab and a little window up top. Window lets a little light into the box if you keep your figures in box on display. I choose not to do that. I'm an opener, so without further ado, let's open them up and take a look at what we're getting here. Alright, so here's Appo out of the package, and I would like to first start by saying you can army build this figure. I don't really get why they elected to call this figure Commander Appo. Yes, Appo is a character in Star Wars, I won't counter that, but I believe that this is just Hasbro's way of giving us a 501st Clone Trooper without putting it in Revenge of the Sith packaging, although they still could have just called this a 501st Clone Trooper. Thing is we have no way of knowing that Commander Appo was at the Jedi Temple on the night of Order 66. In the Clone Wars, Appo has a little arrow mark on his forehead, and I know Revenge of the Sith came out before the Clone Wars animated series, but what I'm saying is that during the bridge scene with Bail Organa, we never hear, a trooper come up, hey, Commander Appo, that Jedi's getting away. He never gets name dropped, he never gets referenced, and, not to be racist, but all those clones, they look the same. So, there's no definitive way to say Appo was there, which one was Appo, and this figure has no definitive markings to make him look like anything other than a 501st Clone Trooper. So go wild, go army build this guy, pick up a bunch of them. It's fine, you're doing good here. I think that's what most people are doing anyway, but if you were curious, there's no definitive telltale marks on this guy. So this figure is actually really exciting. This is actually a modification on the new clone body. I say new, it's really been around since 2020. And so it's got some of the same parts, some modified parts. It's really cool. So let's look at the accessories. For the first accessory, you have the shorter clone blaster in kind of like a dark gray. Kind of prefer these in black, but this isn't bad. No paint, just dark gray blaster, and that's fine. We've seen this before. We also have in the same dark gray the clone long blaster rifle. So again, no paint, just dark gray plastic. Again, would have preferred it in black, but this is okay. It's not bad. Very common blasters. If you've been collecting for a while, you probably have a box full of tons of those. Then here's his helmet. The helmet's removable. So for the longest time, Hasbro has been giving us clones with glued on helmets with a Tamara Morrison likeness underneath. Well, they painted the likeness. So looking at the helmet, looks very good, very nice 501st markings. Little scuffs here and there. It's very subtle. It's not very heavily done. Will say I wish there was a little bit of a dark wash to it just to make it look dirty, since it's clean but with scrapes. So not really sure what's going on there. But very nice paint job, very well done. I'm liking the look of this a lot. It fits on the head very nicely, very snugly, very securely, and it looks good. Taking that back off, I will say, looking at the face, I see Tamara Morrison in it. It's okay. It's not really their most bestest ever photoreal application or anything, but it's all right. I look at it, I'm like, yeah, that's a clone trooper. He basically just has jet black hair. I think that's acceptable. Has a nice little texture sculpt to it. Pretty accurate skin tone applied, but I just don't really see the photoreal in the eyes. It just looks like they're white eyes with black pupils punched in. But also, to counter that, I don't care, because on the shelf, this is what he's going to look like forevermore. So this is why I bought the figure, so he can look like this. But it's nice that you do have the removable helmet feature, I will say. Since they have the sculpt anyways, nice that they're actually using it. So, looking at the figure, if you know what a 501st clone looks like, you know what you're looking at here. It has your standard, it's a white clone trooper body with, the blue shoulder pads, the blue markings on the chest, around the knee pads, around the wrists, the lines down either side of the leg, and then at the back, you have your blue square there. It has little scuffs all throughout the blue. I will say on mine, I do have a little black smudge of paint on the back of that shoulder pad. Kind of sucks, not the end of the world. It just looks like extra weathering, I suppose. But it's a very good application. It's a very good looking 501st clone. I will say on this, and it's a Kenobi series issue, and Hasbro just went accurate to it. It seems like they've lightened the blue a little bit in the Kenobi series, which I think they said they were trying to find a middle ground between film and Clone Wars, colorations. Because, bringing in the Archive 501st, as you can see, it is a darker blue, but they're also close enough that, I'm like, yeah, those are the same thing. So it works. It's okay. But they are different, and it's worth noting for being different. What else is different here? they have given us some really awesome upgrades. So one of the issues with the 2020 clone body was the shoulder pads would get in the way of articulation. You go to raise the arm up and it would bump into the shoulder. Well, this has been designed like the Stormtroopers now, so the shoulder pad is detached from the shoulder, and it's actually mounted to a ring inside the pin for the joint, so it does not get in the way of articulation at all, which is excellent. Another thing that's really cool is the torso armor is actually an overlay. There's a black, jumpsuit wearing torso and underneath, and then this armor is an overlay, so it can actually get out of the way of the arms a little bit, in certain poses. It's nice. This being a floating piece is definitely a useful bit of articulation. Another thing they've done is they have completely let the knee pads loose on this guy. They used to be glued to the thigh. Now, I wouldn't mind if they were glued to the shin, but when they'd be glued to the thigh, it would look weird, let it be down at the knee, and it kind of works better as a knee pad at least. Well, now it's kind of just free-floating there. It's not super loose, but you can position it to whatever works best for you, and I do like that. So yeah, there's a few good tweaks. Another good tweak, left hand trigger fingers. Now, while that doesn't really add a ton of value to this clone trooper, that is going to be an excellent piece going forward for commanders, for ARC troopers, for officers, for anyone that does the dual wield pistol thing. Every clone that does the dual wield pistol thing, I have had to cut the finger on the left hand free so that I can actually put it in the trigger guard of the blasters. Don't have to do that anymore. Now, I'm also expecting them to not put that piece on ARC troopers going forward, because they wouldn't swap the ARC trooper helmet for Jesse, even though it would have been this helmet sculpt. I'm going to guess that will continue to be a body mold used exactly how it is, even though the piece now exists to make it better. So rest assured, I will continue to bitch about it going forward, but now I'll be able to say the piece exists. Why didn't you use it, just like in the Jesse review? So keep an eye out for that in the future. But yeah, all in all, there are some really awesome improvements done to this guy, and I'm really keen on them. To run through articulation, because it's definitely been changed a little bit on this guy, in a good way. He does feature the double ball neck, allowing him to look that high up, which is really good. Bury his chin to his chest armor, rotate to side, get a lot of pivot. Arms can come up to a T-pose and slightly above. Again, those shoulder pads aren't in the way. That is just awesome. He has a pretty good butterfly joint in there, pretty good range. 360 at the shoulder. Again, shoulder pads not in the way. Excellent. Single jointed elbows can go to 90 degrees and rotate at the elbow. And then you see what I'm doing here? He also features a bicep swivel. They brought that back. That is awesome. 360 on the wrist. Both of them hinging up and down. That's going to be excellent for pistol usage there. I'm super hyped. Mid-torso ball joint allows him to crunch that far forward when you shift the armor up, that far back with the armor shifted up, side-to-side rotation, tons of side-to-side pivot. His legs can come out almost to 180. That's really awesome. He can kick his legs straight forward and use that thigh swivel back a little bit, as mentioned. Thigh swivel. Single jointed knees that can go way past 90 and rotate. And then his feet can point pretty far down, really far forward, and there's a forward-facing pin for rocker, allowing you to get some pretty decently wide stances with both feet flat on the floor. To do some comparisons, Here is the SH Figure Arts, Episode 3, Anakin Skywalker. He and the 501st go do some kid hunting. Here is the red box, Captain Rex. As you can see, those blues, they're different shades, but it's not horribly off. Here is the AliExpress Commander Appo, which was based on like a comic book appearance from like Dark Horse in '06 or whatever. And then here is the Archive 501st Trooper. And yeah, all in all, I'm really digging how this looks. Scales very nicely, stands at your standard 6 inches tall. It's exactly what you want it to be. So, end of the day, what do I think of the new Black Series Commander Appo? Really just a 501st clone. I love it. This is an awesome upgrade to the existing 501st clone we have in the line. It is better than the AliExpress one because this body mold has some updates that the AliExpress one doesn't have. This is the definitive 501st clone to get for your collection, and even though it's labeled as Commander Appo, it is definitely just a 501st clone. You can go buy as many of these as you want and army build it, and it won't look wrong. It won't have some distinguishing marking. So go pick them up, build your army. This is the one to get. I don't see Hasbro ever topping this. This is so much fun to pose. I'm having an absolute blast with this guy. I think if you pick him up, you'll have a pretty good time too. I'm really happy with it, and that's really all I can say. It's a great pickup. It's been in stock at Target today as of day of recording, which is October 1st, the day of release. I went to Erie and hung out with the 1313 guys, and we all got ours at the local Target. It seems to have pretty well hit stock nationwide. At just about every Target is there. They've been getting full cases, so I don't anticipate this one being super hard to get a hold of, and I look forward to picking up a few more in the upcoming weeks. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. It means a lot that you did. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe. Got to subscribe to be in that Darth Maul giveaway. And I will catch you next time. Until then, may the Force be with each and every one of you. Bye.